Hello there guys, Teacher Krishna here, and welcome to our next class for the third unit. This is a class that is part of the high school and ninth high school. Just like you know, our subject is biology, and today we are working on week number 25. So be welcome. I'm pretty sure that you can actually notice that we don't have a PowerPoint presentation today, right? So pretty much today we're not going to have the usual summary that we have had before. Because today we are going to work on topic 3.09, cell reproduction discussion-based assessment, module exam. Little spoiler about next week, you have to complete the module exam in the next coming lesson. So I suggest that you start studying the content from module number 3 from this week, so you are prepared already for your evaluation next coming week. Our ending mind for today is very simple. Students will be able to complete the topic 3.09, cell reproduction discussion-based assessment, in order to review the topics from module number 3 to successfully complete the module X. All right. So pretty much what I'm going to be doing during the video today is explaining to you some of the things that you need to complete, as well as guide you through the 4 pages that we can find in this topic. So, of course, first of all, log into Agilex and come to topic 3.09. So in the first page, you are going to find this section that is titled as Test Your Knowledge. So right over here, you will have a small announcement and then several options that you can choose as a correct one. So pretty much, you have to complete the 8 slices that you find right here. Oh, the slides, I'm sorry. Probably I'm a little bit hungry because I'm saying slices, I don't know. Well, actually, I would like a pizza, but that's not the topic for the class. All right, so as I was telling you, make sure to complete the 8 questions that you find right over here, in order to review a little bit the topics that we have studied before. So once you are done, please go to page number 2. In page number 2, you are going to find the 3D check. I'm pretty sure that we have worked already on similar activities like this one. So make sure to click on the 3D check activity. And right over here, you are going to have some models that are going to help you out to review some of the concepts that are found right here. So these are just examples. If you want to change the model of the mind maps that we have right over here, you can go ahead and do it. This is just a simple example. But it is very important that you can actually include all of the information that they require right here. Describe it, compare it, associate it, analyze it, apply it, and evaluate it. So what exactly do you have to write down in each one of these cubes or in each one of the sections that we have right over here? Let's go with the instructions that we have right below. So the anchoring phenomenon of this module is the biodiversity of life depends on the replication of cells and their genetic material. Using your cube perspective, think about the topics of this module that support this phenomenon. Here are some suggestions to guide your thoughts. So in the description, you have to answer the question, how does cellular division create and maintain complex organisms? Comparison, how are genes replicated and passed on offspring by asexual and sexual reproduction? Association, what are some observed dominant and recessive traits that are passed on from parent to offspring? Analysis, how are cells able to interpret and follow instructions they contain? Application, how do scientists use probability to predict the likelihood of a specific trait or disease in future generations of offspring? And lastly, evaluation, what evidence supports the claims related to this phenomenon? So pretty much all of the questions that you have here can be answered through the topics that we have received before. So as a suggestion, I will say that you can go back to the summaries that you have previously done in other sessions, or you can directly go and look for the content in the topics that you have in Agilex. Of course, if you are struggling when finding the answers for any of these questions, you can always let me know in WhatsApp so I can guide your research a little bit more. And of course, you can get the information that you are looking for. All right. So pretty much that's about it. Remember, not necessarily you have to create a cube, but you can use another graphic organizer in order to associate all of the information that we have here. All right. Once you are done with your 3D check, I'm sorry. Before we continue to page number 3. So I need you to finish your 3D check before the live session, okay? Before the Zoom session that we are going to have, because you are going to share the information from your 3D check. And that will be part of the points that I'm going to assign to you today. So make sure that you have finished it already. Okay, so once you are done with that, come here to page number 3. And right over here in page number 3, you are going to have some sentences that are going to relate to the topics. And of course, they are just generalities or the most important concepts from each one of the topics. So what I suggest from this section is that you can go over each one of the statements. And in case you cannot remember all of the information from here, you can go back to the topics that you have had before and re-study them a little bit. For example, in the first one, we have lesson 3.03, sale division. Describe the stages of the sales cycle. So question, do you guys remember the stages of the sales cycle? Do you remember each one of the sub-stages of the sales cycle? And what happens in each one of them? If you don't clearly remember, you can always go back and re-study them a little bit. We also have use a model to illustrate the role of cellular division in the formation of sales. So how is cellular division related to sales? What real examples can you give me about this that you have seen in your environment? We also have described the structure of chromosomes. So what is the pattern that needs to be followed in order for a chromosome to be created or generated? So those are just couple of things that I remember from the previous topics that I have taught you. So besides the 3D check that we have had before, we are going to discuss just a couple of statements from this section during the live session as well. But of course, for your final evaluation, it is very important that you have them all clear in your mind in order to get a good grade. One more time, if you have problems finding information or remembering stuff from here, you can always let me know. I will be more than glad to help you out. All right, and lastly, let's come to this section. And they just give you a small summary of some of the activities that you need to do. And basically what we are interested in is in the rubric that I will use to check your information. So basically, you need to be focused on this one, on level number 3. So if your 3D check actually meets the criteria that is shown here, you are going to have the full grade for today. So in level 3, it says the student shows an advanced understanding of the module content. So in your 3D check, guys, please don't write very simple things. Like, I don't know, what are the stages of the sales cycle? Oh, it has 4 stages. It only helps sales to duplicate. So that doesn't actually tell me all of the information that happens in each one of them. So I want you to be a little bit more specific, of course. So you can show actually advanced understanding. And answers demonstrate fear or non-misunderstanding of key ideas, and answers are supported with advanced explanations and methods. And you can always go back to the references shown in Agilex, so you can have a way more enriching answer for your 3D check. Pretty much those are the activities for today, guys. And that'll be about it. So the rest of the hour, make sure to use it to complete your 3D check and review some of the previous topics that we have worked on. It's been a pleasure being with you today. So I will see you in a couple of minutes during the Zoom session. So goodbye, guys, and always take care.